Hey, welcome to my workshop again. So, as you see, my Corvette's gone. So I sold my Corvette, and now I got my workshop back. So, so today we have a, let's just say, quote unquote, a restored Bally Star Trek. So, so this came into me to have it repaired after the restoration, which kind of sounds stupid, but you know. So it's a new CPR backlash, new CPR playfield, custom graphics. So I have to be honest here. This thing is horrible. It is just absolutely horrible for what this person who did this and did. I'll do another video. I have a Bally Kiss that I bought from the owner of the Star Trek. It was done by the same guy. I'm not even going to mention his name because I don't want to give him any press. So, you know, you got LED topper, you know, the Enterprise is over there, you know, LED shooter, LED, you know, trough, LED block, shooter block, you know. This is a door pull, like a kitchen cabinet pull with a sticker on it, you know, which is coming off because I actually got a real shooter for it. You know, like I said, new CPR playfield. You know, new plastics because these are actually the prototypes for the original Bally. So let's talk about, you know, the bullshit that people pull on these games when they quote unquote restore them. So yeah, the cabinet was redone, all the metals were powder coated, which is probably the worst powder coating I've ever seen. It's just this matte black and it's so thin. There's no depth, there's no character. All that's getting taken off and we're repowder coating the entire game. All the metals are going. You know, it had blue score screens in it. These are the Pinatech, these are the same ones I do. In all my games, I had to fix 2 of them. So inside, nothing was done. I asked about the board work, and everything was quote-unquote working. So it already had an All-Tech board in it. I just replaced the lamp driver board with a Weebly board. And I rebuilt soundboard, reflowed all the pins, all new capacitors. Same thing, reflowed all the pins, new capacitors on the driver board, new rectifier board, all new pins, new connector. That one always gets burnt out. So what was in here before are these stupid things. You know, these non-flickering boards that people spend like $50 for, which don't really do anything, especially if you put really crap LEDs in, which this thing had. Instead of spending $50, spend $95 on a new board. You get new transistors. You get LED light out to show you your voltage is correct. But the other thing is, I repin every single connector in this game for the MPU, the lamp driver board, because even with this brand new board in it, you still have lamp issues because all the pins are corroded because they're 40 years old. So now the fun part. So, you know, you got black targets, which I've never seen. Well, because they're white, they're painted. Same thing with these targets. They were actually painted. As you see the back, you see the ring of white. Eventually, that paint's going to come off because they don't make black targets for, you know, a 1979 Bally game. It's a cool idea, but you know, same thing with the blue posts. There's LEDs on each post, so there's a mash of wiring underneath this playfield to run all of these LEDs, all under there, all the way through under the center ones, everywhere. So he wants to keep all the LED work. I replaced all the LED bulbs. Even the ones that were in here, because 2 out of the 3 of the round LEDs, pop bumper boards were burnt out, so I just replaced them with traditional LEDs. Now, the interesting thing, this, as you see, I'm working on is the foam backing of this. It's mock T-molding to make it look like a newer game. So we ripped that off because that was just horrible looking. You know, and it just, the big thing was nothing was upgraded. So the original playfield came out, everything came off the original playfield. This is what this person did. They took everything off the original playfield and put it back on the new playfield. Didn't clean it, didn't replace any parts, did absolutely nothing. Didn't clean any of the switches. You know, I have pics of the kick out, which was black. Now it's polished silver. I did not paint it, I did not powder coat it. That's what happens when you clean it. You know, you have flipper switches, cabinet flipper switches, completely rebuilt cabinet, custom artwork, new CPR playfield. This is the flipper switch you put in. What kind of a crap job, and what are you charging people? These are the sleeves of the coils for like the slingshots that I took out of this game. Now, for my KISS that now I own, you know, here are the flipper mechs. Here's the stop, which is smashed in. Here's the nylon bushing that was put into a brand new CPR playfield. You know, here's the end of stroke switches that were put in a brand new CPR playfield. So this thing is a total nightmare. So I've gone over everything underneath the playfield. I've replaced about 12 sockets that were either rusted or broken. So clearly they were never working. Readjusted the flippers because the end of stroke switch, because these actually had new flipper mechs in it. But the end of stroke switch for the right flipper was not installed right. So it never cut high voltage. So after about 10 plays, that coil died. So I had to fix that. Basically going through, now the interesting thing inside, and you see, well, wait a minute, the cabinet, you know, it's black up here, and the cabinet was redone with custom graphics. Well, why is the cabinet still yellow? Well, because they didn't do anything on the inside of the cabinet. They did nothing. You know, there was no tilt ball, there was no plumb bob, the speaker was crap, so I replaced it with a newer speaker. That's a little transformer for all the little LED things they got going on. But I went through all the coils, took all the coil sleeves out, new springs, new coil sleeves, new stoppers. You know, they try to rebuild this game properly. The coin door wouldn't even sit in right. You had to slam it. So now the powder coating is worn off because of that. So I fixed the door. The shooter is just a joke. So yeah, so we're doing a lot of upgrades to this. We're gonna do it right. Like I said, all the boards have been redone now. The game plays. There's no more LED flickering. There's no more flipper issues. This game will last for a very long time. So then the only other thing we gotta do is I gotta powder coat. I've taken all the metals off and get rid of this horrible matte black powder coating. You know, the door and everything else. It's got to be a gloss black with blue fleck in it to mimic the stars and the whole space theme. Once this is all done, this game's going to be, you know, quote unquote, it will be bulletproof. As the person told me, it wasn't bulletproof, and I can tell you, he was actually right. But you know, this is what you get for spending a lot of money for someone who really doesn't know what they're doing. And then you got to spend a lot of money for someone to fix it that knows what they're doing. So thanks for watching. I'll show you the KISS video later.